All right. Hey, guys, what's going on? My name is Chris Hawkes, and this is your Best Life Defined. How you doing today? I asked that question like I'm going to get an answer. I hope you're shaking your head. I'm doing better. Thanks. I'm doing better. If you're not, then the question is why? Why aren't you doing better? My best bet would be that it's because you haven't taken action to improve your position. See, this is a stumbling block that makes some people turn this off, right? This is that point where some people are not ready to hear that they have an obligation. There's a connection between what they do and what they get. Let me see if I can describe your life. And not that I'm not empathetic. I am empathetic because I used to be there. Let's see if we can get this right. So my bet is you're pinned down with debt. You have a substantial amount of debt. And the way you can test that is, can you pick your life up right now, take 2 weeks off from work and fly to Hawaii? If you can't, that's because you don't have the money, right? Okay. The other problem you have is you probably can't afford to take that time off from work. You have to work, right? That's an example of being pinned down. That's when that tough guy is on top of you, just smashing you, right? That those choices you make are just keeping you where you are. How do you get out of that? How do we escape that feeling, that pressure that sits on top of us when we have a house payment, 2 car payments, we have credit card debt, we have Verizon payments or cell phone payments, we have all kinds of these burdens, we have all this a long list of obligations. Oh no, I can't go fishing this weekend, I got to mow the lawn. Oh no, this is the weekend we're spreading gravel. Oh no, I can't go this weekend, I got to do this, I got to do that. Doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense to me because when I look around, I think to myself, yeah, it's okay, I guess. I mean, having a house is cool. At least you don't have to worry about anything because once you get pinned down, guess what? A lot of us just lay on the mat. We just like laying under the weight of our choices, just like, oh man, I'm happy. Pinned on the mat. You can't go to Vegas for the weekend. Your friends are going, and it's because they've managed to figure out how to manage their money. They manage their time. Their life isn't bigger than what they need, and they have this focus that allows them to pick destinations that they can achieve through a series of actions. And you'll see them over here and over there, and all the while you're laying under your mat, under the burden of debt, the burden of obligation. What it comes down to is that feeling you get when you take an honest look at your life. That's how you can determine if you're pinned down, and it's only by accepting the fact that you can't make these choices or you won't make these choices for whatever reason. And when you're not moving, you have to ask yourself why. The reason most people don't move, they can't. They can't. They're pinned down under the weight of their own choices. And I don't feel pinned down because of this house. Yes, granted, there are certain situations that happen that I don't appreciate. I mean, I don't like struggling to find an RV park. It's not the most exciting thing in the world for me to have to wax a 41-foot fifth wheel, but that comes with a package. But what I'm not talking about those incidental burdens that are created by our choices. I'm talking about the ability to take action in our life because of our choices. This RV is still a better choice for me than a conventional home because guess what? I can take my house with me, wax it or not, right? I'm not pinned down. And it doesn't just apply to the house. Let's just think about the home you live in right now, that mortgage, whatever that mortgage might be, right? Whether you can afford it or not, whether you love it or not, is irrelevant. The fact that you own that house, the question is, does it limit your ability to do other things in your life? Does it eliminate the choices you have or the choices you can make because of that decision? Now, this isn't a matter of is it good or bad. This is a matter, is it serving your purpose? Is that the tool you needed to accomplish the goal? And what's the goal? To live the best possible life you can. To wake up excited, to wake up energized, to sit there and go, I can't believe we get to do this, right? That's the goal. And what pins us down? Like I said, you're pinned down with the ideas that you're given, right? You go on social media and you see someone with a brand new truck. You know that little twinge you get when you're looking at one of your friends' life and it looks like their life is amazing? Let me just give you a little bit of tidbit to ease that little knot you got building in your stomach. It's not true. It's probably not true. It's not as great as they're portraying. There's still those parts about their life that they haven't bothered to fix. And you know why I can say that? Because if you're living life like everyone else, if your life looks exactly like everyone else, you're going to get exactly that outcome. The same exact outcome. If your life looks like your grandparents' life did or does, you're going to live that same story, right? Look what happens. Here's the story. Go work hard, buy stuff, retire, ride off into the sunset. I don't know about you. I've traveled around the country. I've spent more than one winter in a snowbirding camp with literally thousands of other people who are 20 years older than me. And guess what? I'm looking and it don't look like much fun. Oh, sure, they're out there. They're doing what they want to. But most of them are doing what they can, right? Why would you want to wait in order for you to start having the time of your life until you're too broken down to have the time of your life? Now, you see the correlation here, right? You know why everyone's doing it? Because this is the standard story. And the reason there's so much reluctance to change, to listen to a guy like me. Now, there are people out there that will pay someone to stand up on stage, $3,000 to tell them the same exact thing. But to listen to someone like me say, hey, why are you waiting? They're like, oh, I don't want to listen to that. I don't want to listen to that. Of course you don't. Of course you don't. But guess what? There are some people who are ready. Some people are saying, yeah, you know what? You're right. Why is it so significant that I own a house or that I go in debt? I don't even care about the house. Why is it so significant that my life must look like everyone else's life? We have options, right? Our original plan was to live on a boat. Here's the deal. The more time you have and the more money you have, the more choices you have. Let's just take a look at all of the things you have in your life right now. If you had twice as much money as you do now, what you have right now wouldn't matter one bit, right? You could just do some other stuff with that extra money, right? If you don't have that ability, then the other option is to eliminate those things in your life that are getting in the way of your choices. You're not able to go fishing 5 nights a week? Why? What's stopping you, right? What's stopping you? Maybe it's the fact that you have a $3,000 house payment. And that's fine if you wake up all excited, tail wagging on Saturday mornings because of all the cool stuff you get to do around the house, right? I mean, then that makes perfect sense. But if you're running around the house and you're not running around going celebrating like it's a party because you get to mow the lawn, maybe you could have got away with a house half as expensive. Man, can you imagine having a refund of half your house payment every month because you downsized to something that fits? I keep talking about living your best life. If you want to put it another way, make your life fit who you are. You don't wear shoes that are too big, do you? Then why would we select a house that's too big? Why would we buy a vehicle that's too much, has too much of an impact, takes too big of a bite out of our resources? And granted, again, if it's your love, if that's your thing, but for most of us, it's not, right? In fact, most of us spend our entire lives doing things that have nothing to do with who we are. You want to know the happiest concrete guy in the world? Is the guy who loves to do concrete. The guy who is all about that aspect of pouring concrete and setting forms and doing that thing, and he has this image in his head that inspires him to be the best he can at it. And what you might not believe is there are people like that. And they're successful. You know why? When you get pinned down doing things you love that inspire you, you're not pinned down. You're climbing up. You're not pinned down. You're just pushing the stuff out of the way that's keeping you from your goal, from your win, right? Debt pins us down. Addiction pins us down. Bad choices for the wrong reasons pin us down. But you know what the biggest source of distraction that keeps us from accomplishing the most possible that we can in our life by grabbing hold of what we love? You know what the biggest distraction is? It's our failure to learn who we are. It's our failure to set aside all the noise just long enough to think about who we are, why we do what we do, and to consider what we could be doing, a life of a million choices. And here we all get the house and mow the lawn and what? Live in Canyon City, Colorado. You know, what's funny is it wasn't until my kids went off to college that I was actually convinced there was a world outside Fremont County, right? I'm over here. We're getting close to our 50s, getting ready to retire, and my kids are off, and then they start making jokes about what we do. Because we used to go to a place, it's called Lake Deweese. It's in Westcliff, or between Westcliff and Canyon City. And when I look back on it, it's an okay place, and we had some really wonderful times. But the reality was, it was kind of like a mud puddle when it comes to water, especially since I've been to Maine, to Cadillac Mountain, to Grand Rapids, Michigan, to the ocean, right? You look at Lake Deweese. Lake Deweese ain't got a thing when it comes to that, right? Being able to choose beyond where you are right now is the goal, right? I'm not here to tell you what you're going to do. I need to tell you that you can do it. I'm here to tell you what's stopping you. Come on. Don't wait. Don't wait. I know this last year, COVID came in, all those people were waiting, they were getting ready for it, but they weren't quite there yet, and all of a sudden COVID came in and it changed a lot of lives, right? Are you really going to wait? Wait to try and climb out? Oh, we're going to get out of debt next year. I really need a truck. Why? You know what I really need? I need to do another podcast. I need to finish my book so I can get on with the next book, so I can set a new bar for myself. There was this conversation during one of my lows. I got to the 365, and I'm like, yeah, okay, here we go. I'm thinking to myself, now that I hit that benchmark, it was kind of a letdown, right? And I'm thinking, I just quit. And Sandy turns to me and she goes, why would you quit? Because if you quit, it's just going to cost us more money, because you're going to find some other amazing thing that you want to do, and then you're going to dump money into it, and you're going to do it, and you're going to learn everything you can around it. And just about the time you start getting good at it, you're going to quit. She's right. That's where I was. So now I'm back, and I don't know when it's going to stop. Now there may be some interruptions because of internet access and the ability to post. I certainly hope not, but I'm going for the long game on this one. I'm going for the win. I want to finish big, right? Now, does this podcast pin me down? Yeah, I suppose in a way it does. It pins me down because I've made a commitment to myself and to you to continue to do a podcast. Is it a good thing that I do this? Yeah, I think so, because in the long, this is a long game. Obviously, because I don't have 1 million views on my YouTube channel, apparently my videos aren't the way they should be. And until I commit the amount of time it takes to produce a quality, attention-getting video that's entertaining and educational, it's probably not going to happen. Am I okay with that? Yeah. Once I perfect this, and I think I already have, I think this is rolling as good as it's going to get. We're going to change some stuff up on the format and the layout of the story, but the reality is it's not too bad, right? But I'm not giving up. I'm not going to give up, because it's the long game. It's about me continuing to get better. And what's cool about it is I'm not pinned into this. There's still places I can go. I can turn it into a weekly, right? The ticket here is when you look at your life and all of the choices you've made, are they keeping you from all of the choices you would like to make? Are they standing in front of you when it comes to decisions that maybe they're not exactly what everyone else will do, but they're what you want to do? If they are, then change something. If they are, pick one thing that will get you closer to that thing you want to do, to that idea you have in your head. And if you can't take that action, spend more time with yourself. Ask yourself questions about why. how important it is. Start that dialogue with your partner about where you are and answer those questions of why and what you could do better. And the next thing you know, guess what? You're pushing that crap off of you. You're not laying on the mat anymore. You got one arm out and you're like, all right, here we go. And you're doing something with that arm. Next thing you know, you got both arms out. Next thing you're almost to your feet. See, no one told me about this thing, about how the debt and these ideas about what happiness and success is. No one told me they were going to trap me. They were going to pin me to the mat. I had to figure it out on my own. You don't. You don't. And once you step forward and you see those things and you start moving forward, guess what? You don't need to listen to me anymore, because once you figure out your method for taking action, for initiating action, regardless of how you feel about it, but simply because where you're wanting to go is more important than where you are. Where you're wanting to go is more inspiring than where you are. Life will never pin you down again. I've done so many things in my life, I can't even believe it. I've done all kinds of things in my life, and people look at me and they go, oh, yeah, man, he does all kinds of things in his life, right? Why not? If I have the choice to learn karate, why not? If I have the choice to be a self-defense instructor, why not? Have a choice to learn AutoCAD, why not? Life isn't pinning me down. Life isn't shaping me into my grandparents, into my great-grandparents, into my parents. I'm in charge of that, because I don't like to be pinned down. And if you're honest with yourself, that's how it feels. The debt, the choices, being like everyone else, looking at social media and realizing that, I'm not good enough yet. Get out from under the weight that the world has handed you. Get out from underneath that burden that for whatever reason you've decided to take on, and start finding some places to reach out, to choose, to get out from under, get to your feet and start running, for God's sake. So anyway, hey, listen, I keep rolling on this thing because, the reality is you're running out of time. We're all running out of time. And unless we change something in how we think and how we view what success is, there's a lot of us that are going to miss out. There are a lot of us that are going to get to the end of our life and go, shit, what did I do? Crap. I mean, that's where I'm at. My biggest fear right now is that I'm going to wake up one day and it's going to be over, right? And I'm not going to be able to fly to Vietnam or to any place that I would dream of doing or to accomplish that thing I want to do. Scares the hell out of me. I'm not stopping. I hope you don't stop either. Grab a hold of the tidbits of this that work for you. Maybe the format isn't perfect. I understand that completely, but what I don't understand is no matter where you are, there's a way to change it. No matter where you are, there is someplace better to be. And when that thing that you see, that thing you go after is good enough, it's big enough, you feel inspired by that thing you want, you will find a way to get there. I mean, I did. Sandy did. So keep that in mind. Hey, let's not forget the kindness. And as always, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.